Hello, viewers. Kubiondo, Kith and Kin, I'm SB, and welcome back to I Was a Teenage Exocolonist, where we finally are. We did it. We finally made it to being that thing. I have no idea why the music for the game died suddenly as I started recording. So we did unlock a new kind of biology research to do that fits our needs a little bit better, but at the same time, we have this heroic bonus, and it is a new year. So I think the first thing we do is probably go outside the walls, right? But before we do that, we can talk to Cal. Hey Cal, have you met my cool new pet? Ah, he has. You catch Cal at the gate to the gardens. He's carrying a big bucket of rocks. That sounds useful. Hi, Samhain, he exclaims. He pauses to pet your pet on the head. And hello to you too, Squidcap. Oh, I'm supposed to tell you there's a new park near Geoponics now, Cal says. We can run around all we want, and nobody will say we're trampling the fields. You should come play there sometime. And bring Squidcap. They'll love it. Okay, that's neat. So there's another sort of relax event. We can probably give gifts again, right? Dis is skipping stones across a flat stretch of rock. Talk to my sister today, he says. Skip, 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 skip. She's doing some kind of super secret extra credit project in engineering. She wanted to gloat, I guess. He tosses a rock into the air and catches it. Whatever. Just likes it when people pay attention to her. Okay, so bravery 80 or greater will get us a stressful event. Okay. An 8 that gives you 10 stress when you play it. That's interesting. I think since the rules seem to be one gift per season, let's actually wait until we've been outside and we can give them both gifts then, because we'll probably find more stuff for them. 20, 21, 22. Nem counts, bouncing a sports ball on her knee. 24, 25, 26. Oh, hey, Samhain. She tucks the sports ball under her elbow and smiles at you. What's up? Nothing really. Yeah, hold on. We'll see. Anyway, let's sneak out. So obviously the perception is not super useful, but we're looking to cash in some animals points here. We can sometimes, but not always, tell which events will have an animal. And I'm allowed to just run past stuff now, right? Yeah, that's pretty cool. Let's go see our... Well, this is going to remove a bunch of stress from us, right? What are we at right now? 15? We should take on at least one other event before we do that. But also, I want to make sure that we're picking up loot. So there's a medicinal root for Dis. Medicinal root for Tange. A log for somebody. Also a log. Let's go up to the top of the hill and see what what's what. See if Dis is up there or if perhaps a mysterious stranger might be up there. With the mysterious stranger, we might just have to like search every event though. It's a little bit of a shame because it does feel like we're not really getting a lot of value out of some of the stress spending that we're going to be doing. Oh, this event has different... Okay, what's going on here? You hear a sad hiccuping sound and follow it to find a sick Hopeye. It's hunched down low, its foot completely nestled under its body, shivering uncontrollably. Its enormous eyes roll around in confusion and fear at your approach. Okay, this thing needs medical attention. We have to make a 60? We can probably make a 60. Let's start with... Oh, wait, why does this have a +1? One slot, the middle card gets +1. Shoot. Well, I mean, we can do this. Obviously, that doesn't get us the straight, though, or the flush. So we could do this instead. Take a 2 of a kind plus a flush. Yeah. See if we can make better use of this. Okay, so... That's not awesome. I don't hate it, but it's not awesome. But this hopefully gives us a chance to draw into a bunch of reds. Okay. So we have to make 26 here. We can probably do that with all of these 6s. Right, except that's gonna screw things up a little bit. Well, I mean, that's certainly good enough. If we played a natural 4 here, we could get a 5 out of it. I wonder if we're better off, like, hold on, let me fiddle around with this a little bit. Let's say we do, like... Yeah, I mean, whatever. This is fine. It works. We get a little straight out of it. Well, we find the high one. And that's our first point of animals. The hop-eye hisses and tries to bite you. It doesn't want to be touched. But you throw your jacket over it, then carefully pick it up and put it in your pack. You crack the zipper a bit to give it some fresh air. Your dad helps you make a little nest for it in an empty part of the geoponics barns. Every day you bring it food and water and gradually nurse it back to health. Cal takes an active interest in the recuperation. Utopia says that hop-eyes don't really have gender, he says, as you're washing out the pen together. Or maybe she said they're both, and they're really social. So what are you going to name them? Y'all, Optimus Prime is really bad in precisely the way that I like. I am going to call him Optimus Prime for sure. A noble companion who's more than meets the eye. Perfect. Cal offers the hop-eye a piece of bobber fruit. Cute. Optimus Prime plucks the fruit from Cal's hand and hops into your lap to snuggle down and nibble on it. Cal snaps a photo with his hollow palm and shares it, captioning it, "Friends for Life," and then the button just says, "Aww." I was not expecting that to kick us back to town. I'll say that. You wake to the sound of your parents arguing in hushed tones, clearly trying not to disturb you. You blink away the sleep from your eyes, eventually remembering, wait, isn't today your 13th birthday? Where's your birthday cuddles? Your parents always make a big deal about your birthday. You peek out through the privacy curtain on your bunk and listen in on their argument. You're being unreasonable, your mom says. Samhain is a teenager now. You have to give her the opportunity to take calculated risks, or she'll start acting out. That's just what being a teenager is. Going off into the wilderness isn't a calculated risk, your dad replies. It's too dangerous. Well, it's weird to hear your parents arguing. If they ever disagree, they sort it out quietly or go to mediation. This time they sound really upset. It's unsettling. You don't need to. They glance at you. Your mom holds up her hand to silence you and goes right back to talking. Geranium, she grates. You've said yourself, we need every person out there surveying for edible native plants. You're even going yourself. Why not our daughter? Your dad flails his hands helplessly. Because, Flulu, she's our daughter. It's our responsibility to keep her safe. You're not keeping anyone safe by coddling her, your mom almost shouts, and your dad flinches in shock. Samhain's survival depends on her understanding this planet we're living on. So you're not doing her or the colony any favors by pretending like that's not the case. Hey, listen, I can take care of myself. You're brave, but you aren't stupid. You assure them that you'll stay out of trouble. Your dad's shoulders sag as he shakes his head. You barely even know what's out there, kiddo, he mutters. Excuse me. Your mom's fierce expression softens. Hey, Sowen, sorry. It's your birthday today, and here we are arguing like a pair of assholes. Happy birthday. They both give you a hug. We meant to order up from the canteen and have your usual birthday breakfast, but we got talking about how Utopia's opened up positions and expeditions for kids 13 and older, and, well, that's you now. I suppose we'll have to let you spread your wings someday, your dad relents. I just feel better knowing you were safe here inside the colony walls. He gives your mom a faint smile. We decided early on to let you choose your own path in life, so if you want to join expeditions, we're behind you. Just be safe. Yeah, they have no idea how we've been spending all of our time. Cuties! Look at all the cuties! We're doing it! Okay, so first things first. My dude, how would you like some medicinal roots? I found some. Tangent. You find Tange leaning against the wall of the laboratory, looking out into the hustle and bustle of the colony. Antecedent tried to talk to me about puberty today, she says, rolling her eyes. It was a pleasure to tell her that I seem to be suffering no ill effects from the malady. She crosses her arms and shrugs, dismissively. Perhaps there is a limit to genetic recombination therapy, as I do not seem to be undergoing the effects common among those who are born to this array of hormones. I should advise Chief Engineer Instance. Yeah, hey, I have something for you. Do you want like a pretty bunch of crystals? It seems like she might care about this. Okay, nothing special. A very normal reaction to a gift. Hey, more medicinal roots. Mars is frowning intently at her holopalm, typing a new message. Oh, excuse me, Sowen. I just have to clear something up, she says, sparing you a look. Anemone posted her answers on the Everything About You survey on the colony message board, and said that she thinks her brother Calm is the coolest person in the colony. Mars rolls her eyes. As if. Calm is like one of the hottest, but he's not sophisticated. Okay. How would you like... Pretty flower? Ooh, pretty, Mars admires the Astrantia. Wow, Sowen, you could have given this to anyone, but you choose me. I can't say I'm surprised, but thank you. Oh, that opened up dialogue with her. You know, Sowen, you're all right, Mars says as you approach. Wait, did we get like a lot? Okay, yeah, they gave us a lot of friendship with her. That's actually for the best, probably. You blink at her, trying to figure out what she means. You're an all right what? At your stunned silence, Mars laughs and tosses her hair over her shoulder. You're all right, she repeats. You actually have good taste, unlike all these other nullheads. Ever since we landed, it's been help with this, Mars, and don't waste resources on that, Mars. It's boring. At least you understand the importance of sophistication. You shoot the breeze with Mars a bit longer. At some point, Dis skulks out of the living quarters and has to pass by you both, clearly trying not to draw your attention. Ugh, where's he going now? Mars mutters to you, then raises her voice so Dis can hear. Try not to get eaten by aliens, she calls out to Dis. If you die out there, they can't use your body for fertilizer. Don't be a waste. Hey, Mars, shut up. Not cool. You say it loud enough for Dis to hear. He looks at you with wide eyes before scurrying towards the walls. Huh, Mars says with a little smile. No accounting for taste. She seems to respect that you challenged her, though. She watches Dis disappear from sight, then shrugs. Maybe you can get through to him. I've tried, but he doesn't care about contributing to the colony, or being popular, or earning kudos, or anything important. I don't know if saying this is going to be of any value. I'm just gonna bail on that conversation. What's up, Dad? You find your dad comparing some plant samples. When he sees you, he puts down the test tubes and gives you a big hug. Kiddo, he exclaims, then kneels down to look you in the eye. Look, I've been thinking. I want to say I'm sorry your mom and I were arguing on your birthday. We disagree sometimes, just like every couple. But it's unfair that you had to see how the sausage gets made. That phrase probably doesn't quite work, right? It's probably the process of making soy sausage is probably a lot less unpleasant than the other kind of sausage. All right, we don't have enough persuasion to talk him into doing something on our behalf. No, listen, it's okay. He pats you on the shoulder. Thanks for saying so. You're a great kid. Your mom and I talked it out, he continues. We're both just really putting our everything into the farm right now, and it's making us kind of snappy. You don't have to worry about it, okay? He squeezes you in a hug. If you want to join Utopia's exploration team, just be careful. It's dangerous out there. So yeah, actually, we should look into, like, what is the deal with joining the team the appropriate way? Explore nearby. Survey the plains. Interesting. Perception. So this one gives you animals straight up instead of giving any bravery. Was it the plains that we were supposed to search for the plant, for instance, in Tange? It might be. Let's go ahead and do that. There's points of animals at stake here. When you boarded the expedition's autobus this morning, you didn't know what to expect. It trundled you and the other surveyors a few clicks north to the prosaic plains, a high flat area with cooler weather than your colony. You could barely control your excitement as you watched the landscape change. And now you're here. You're finally old enough for a real survey mission away from the colony. Oh, interesting. You greet Chief Surveyor Utopia at the depot. Now, this here's a plas cutter, she says, handing you one. It's a tool for cutting and heating things. You can use it to make a fire, cauterize a wound, boil water, and it cuts some materials pretty alright. You could use it for self-defense too, but I don't suggest it. I'm not going to say this. She's going to regret handing me the cutter. Are we going to be in danger? She makes a so-so motion with her hand. And this is a quiet area, and what we're doing, we're not supposed to be in danger. We're just going to be taking notes and pictures, keeping track of all the flora and fauna we see. Just don't touch anything unless I ask you to take a sample. Everything is potentially dangerous. We don't know much about what's out there, which is why we need surveyors, even youngins like you. The prosaic plains are a sparse region. Like you can assume from the name, you can see things from a long way off. Utopia sees you squinting at the horizon. And what are you going to do if you see something coming for you? I know what answer she wants to hear. I'm going to say avoid it. Good kid, Utopia approves, patting you on the back. We don't need any trouble. Dis joins you. He must have come on an earlier autobus. Oh, good, you're here, Utopia says, digging out another plas cutter for Dis. You two greenhorns are with me for the foreseeable. Now, we don't gotta sniff each other's butts all the time, but I do expect y'all to be in yelling distance. Comms can get pretty spotty out here. You and Dis share knowing glances. You've both been sneaking out to explore long before you were officially allowed to. Utopia also hands you a surveying drone and shows you how to launch it. It'll automatically perform local scans of wherever you go, though detailed scans still need to be done manually. When you return here to the depot, it'll upload its findings to the HoloNet. Your job is to cover ground, see what's out there, and, so long as it isn't dangerous, record it. She slaps you on the back. All right, team, don't get yourselves killed out there, okay? Okay, I guess. Hey, check it out. Free logs. So I'm assuming this is going to work pretty much the same way as the other area. We're just going to blaze past the blockers for right now. Doing some of these challenges is probably a good idea, but I want to see, like... I want to see where all we can go here. Ooh. More of that yellow flower. Okay, that's some kind of weird critter. And we're totally going to interact with it. Okay. Just as soon as I'm sure there's nothing else over here. You almost bump into Dis. He's being so still and quiet, hunched over and looking down a little knoll. He shushes you and points. Don't scare them. You follow his finger and see what looks like a bush shaking violently. 2 bushes, actually, at opposite ends of a clearing. They're bush bubs, he says, fighting over territory. You look more closely through your binoculars and, oh, those boulders are alive. How do you know that? Dis shrugs. If you're quiet, you see them a lot. You watch the 2 creatures face off, rhythmically rustling the leaves that grow out of their heads and backs. Their gangly, branch-like antennae swing over their heads as they rear up to their full heights. Even from far away, they look imposing, like agile boulders. Okay, pretty good. +3 animals. Yeah. One goes, then the other. They watch each other carefully, alternating and repeating the other's motions, trying to outdo each other. Ultimately, the smaller, more graceful one seems to be declared the winner. The loser plops back down and shuffles away into the jungle defeated. Weird. It's so hard to know which of these might be worth doing. We're certainly going to get all of this stuff. We should probably do... yeah, another critter thing. You spot some familiar looking fruit. Hey, you've seen this bush before. That's no rock underneath. It's all part of one creature, an arborescent photosynth, a bush bub. It pays you no attention, continuing to blend in with the rest of its surroundings like a boulder, and I do not pick its fruit. Well, here's another one. Okay. Here's Dis. We should probably talk to Dis. I do want to see where this goes, though. God, there's so much looping around. Okay, and that's like the special ending event. Well, we have harvested everything now. Let's go have a chat with our friend. Hey, Samhain. Dis greets you cautiously as you pass on the narrow path. Hey, do you want me to show you something? Dis almost never makes overtures of friendship. Whatever it is, it must be pretty cool. Yeah, you always find the coolest stuff. You follow him for nearly half an hour. A couple of times he stops to listen for something, then continues onward, tromping through the fields of broad-topped mush trees and swaying antler ferns. After a while, you start to wonder if he's just lost. You're about to say something about it when he holds up his hand for silence and directs you to crawl under a huge mushroom. On the other side, you have a view down to one of the perfectly round ponds. Taking up most of it is an enormous xeno, its legs deep underwater. It's a balneal, Dis tells you. They live in the swamps. You don't usually see them here. This one seems totally at home. It dips its long neck and even longer mouth into the pond, sucking up water from the bottom and spewing it out of a spout at the back of its head. The spray of beautiful turquoise water sparkles in the sun. Tiny, colorful bird-like creatures dart around it, catching the tiny fish that come spraying out. This feels a little ridiculous. I'm just gonna, marvel at the beauty of that. You enjoy the pretty scene together. I kind of thought that's how he would want to do that. So how much stress do we have left? 70? All right, let's do this event and then the climactic. You're crossing a clearing when you hear a terrible cracking, pounding sound. A bush bub bursts through the tree line, barreling straight towards you. Whatever's making a bush bub run, you're pretty sure you don't want to be on the business end of it. But I bravely stand my ground. Bravely, stupidly, whatever. You know, it's all the same. Well, you can get a very easy, I mean, like, obviously the raw value of that's low, but, and then, oh, right, the becoming a carnivore is going to make that a 4. I guess that's fine. Because we could do a 2, 3, 4 instead, right? But actually, this is 2 points fewer, but it leaves me in a better place to set up a red straight. Like, I think that's the right thing to do. Gosh, we really have to, like, nail it. Okay, we might be able to. That gets us there. I think we have to be willing to accept it gets us there. Yeah, I'm gonna just take that. Okay, that was the maximum value. Well, we made back the money we spent. +5 from Mars Ambition, best score, exact score from Battle Condition. Okay. The creature pounds past you, its powerful stone-like gorilla arms smashing the ground. It doesn't even seem to see you, and goes around you without even looking at you. You look around, but there's no sign of whatever motivated the bush bub to run so fast. Well, at least that's something to be grateful about. And that's got us at 85, so we should do the capstone thing here. It is cool to be able to just, like, push all the way to the end, but also, obviously, there might be some value in doing the other events. You hear Dis shouting from nearby to come quick and look at this. You meet up with Dis on a curiously clean part of the path. There's no twigs, pebbles, bits of grass, or the ubiquitous Dorb's mouth scales that litter this area. It almost looks like it's been swept clean. And there, in the middle of a perfect circle 3 meters wide, is what you could only describe as a shrine. A hollow, waist-height structure made from twigs and packed spark snow forms the centerpiece, and around it are deliberately spaced piles of colorful fruit, flowers, and glittering stones, like an offering. Let's stake it out and wait. We're good at watching. This is like a whole thing for me. So if we do this, we can get a nice clean start there. Okay, so right. And then if I put the 2 here, it'll match us a +1. If I put the wild here, will match across all of the 3s. What's the point differential? Nothing. Then I think I'd rather hold on to the wild, right? Hard to know exactly what we might want to do with it, but all right, got to make 28 happen. +2 to the card to your right. I don't think we can make good use of this, like, in terms of building a straight. Yeah, is it just like 4, 5, 6, and then just a lot of raw numbers and also the flush? Yeah, I think that's reasonable. Oh, cool, perception. You hang out for hours, but don't discover anything except how boring an idea this was. Dis takes a nap. You're almost falling asleep when something shuffles into the clearing. It's a bush bub. It crawls slowly along down the path. It stops to pick up a pop flower. It stops to pick up a stone. When it arrives at the shrine, it carefully places the flower in the pile of flowers and the stone in the pile of stones. Then it picks up the stone and repositions it just so. You wonder if the creature is somehow religious? Or is it trying to attract a mate with this little show of decor? Gosh, there is so much you don't know about the animals that live here. So I can keep exploring, but it's almost certainly going to push us to 100, right? Yeah, so it takes us home either way. Look at all those points of perception. Did that get us to 40 animals? It did. All right, mid-quiet, and I'm sleepy. But first, your dad pulls a flower out of his pocket and gives it to you. A blossom for my little blossom. He tucks it behind your ear. I am 99.99% sure this isn't poisonous, but let me know if you get a weird rash or anything. Okay, what I would love to do is help you with the animals. Your dad is helping two bristle slugs who've gotten tangled on each other while, well, maybe they were wrestling. Your dad doesn't want to go into the details. He lifts up the larger one and you carefully pull apart their bristling spikes, being careful not to get jabbed yourself. And 10 minutes later, they're back at it again. Your dad shrugs. The heart wants what it wants, I guess. Yeah, I suppose. Okay, so relaxing in the park doesn't really seem any different. Like, we'll probably get like events that have to do with Cal and stuff. I think I want to rest on the walls. You've heard Security Chief Rhett is on the lookout for lookouts. That is, for kids to chill out on top of the wall all afternoon and count Xenos. Sounds way better than going to class. He gives you a once-over, eyes narrowed. All right, he says. Look over there at the end of the field. What does that sign say? I will. Read it out loud. I love that one of the options was refuse to play his game. You can read the sign easily. It says, if you can read this, your eyesight is 20/20. Huh. What a weird sign. What does that mean? Rhett nods in approval. Good. You pass. Come back next month. I'll put you on the roster. Okay. Lookout duty. That's interesting. I think I am okay dropping a playing sports ball. So what does defense training get us? Combat and animals. Oh no, sorry, lookout duty. I was going to say, I would really expect perception from that. And indeed, there it is. So like there is, I think, an open question as to whether or not we want to go back outside. We don't know for sure exactly what all the events are. And in particular, we probably do need to explore some plant life in the plains. I think it was the plains. We don't have anything that's like akin to a quest log, do we? It would be, if it was marked on anybody's thing, maybe anti-seed or maybe instance. No, okay. I'm trying to remember what part of the wilderness they said it was in. It was somewhere that we couldn't go before. It might be the new area we've just unlocked. In which case we need to go back there and do a bunch of plant things. You know what? You know how I'm going to resolve this? I'm just going to go check. I'm just going to go, oh, hey. First of all, let's grab this. Secondly, what's up, Dad? But then after this, I'm going to go just go look at the footage. So I'll pause this video to do that and then, come back. Your dad was sniffling and sneezing pretty bad this morning. He collapsed around this time last year, so you've been feeling anxious about his health, especially now that the pollen is back. He's working hard in the fields, respirator hanging from his neck as he grunts and shovels dirt into a wheelbarrow. He sees you coming and stands up straight, coughing a little as he stretches his back. Hey, kiddo, what brings you out here? Dad, you have to wear your respirator. Your dad makes blah 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 motions with his hand. I do. Don't look at me like that. I'm just getting some fresh air. It's hard to breathe with that thing on. I'm racing to get these pixie beans in the ground, he continues. We're all set to have a great harvest in time for Vertumnalia. He leans on his shovel, tucking one foot behind the other and rocking back and forth. Yeah, truth is, I've been working like a dog. I'd love to get out of here for a while. What do you say you and I go for a little walk, he says, brightening. I know you don't get outside the walls much either, but we could do a little nature walk. I study all the plants and foragers bring them back, but I've never really seen them in the wild. No, absolutely, that sounds great. I'd love to do that. Awesome, your dad explains. I knew you'd pick up what I'm throwing down. Your mom doesn't see the draw, he continues, flipping his shovel up onto his shoulder and picking his way carefully out of the turned fields. She likes what she can control, you know? But there's a whole planet out there, and I want to go explore. He stops and doubles over, suddenly racked with a coughing fit that makes him unable to speak. He tries a few times to catch his breath, but each time he just starts coughing harder. The pink pollen in the air swirls and eddies around you both. Dad, maybe you should stay indoors. Oh, your dad wheezes. You're just like Instance, that old stick in the mud. I remember when we were younger, she was always walking around with her nose in everyone's business. She always thinks she knows what's best for people. Despite his brave words, he has to hold on to you for balance as he catches his breath again. Okay, maybe now's not the best time, he gasps, finally putting his respirator back on. But, you and me, we have a date with the outside world, kiddo. I'm taking a rain check. Whew, he says, his eyes red-rimmed and streaming from irritation. I can't wait until Instance figures out a treatment for this shimmer thing. She says maybe next year, or maybe the one after that. I'm going to be first in line, you bet. Yeah, that sounds reasonable. All right, I'm going to pause the recording here and go check and make sure about what we were told, about the stuff we need to bring back from an expedition to maybe work on a cure for the shimmer, which seems more pressing every year, doesn't it? So I'll see y'all in just a moment. Okay, I went and looked and then came back and went to start the recording, and by the time I was about to press start recording again, had already forgotten the information. So now I have it paused on the other monitor. This is how bad my memory is. The Valley of Vertigo is where we were told we would get the most useful sample, or where the most useful samples had been coming from. So when we go out with you, it's to the plains, which is to say the prosaic plains. We need to be able to go to the Valley of Vertigo, which I guess we just can't do yet. Maybe this is something that becomes available like in a future year or at a different time of year, perhaps. Maybe. But so we're not going to be able to get the thing to advance the plot, that plot line, from doing this. 9 events remaining, 0 collectibles. All events have respawned. Oh, right. We didn't actually do anything out here. We just... Well, maybe we should. Then again, there is that that organizing bonus. I really would like to get our organizing up. And continuing to push biology is important too. Level 2 pets perk. Upgrade pet cards via relaxing in the park. Interesting. Okay, well that's the thing to think about for later. For right now, I think let's just do some xenobotany, right? Actually, this is the beginning of this season. Have we given gifts to Disentange yet? No, we haven't. My dude, how would you love some medicinal roots? How we doing? 70. I wonder if anything really significant happens when you get to 100. It feels like something should, right? I already spend as little time around other teenagers as possible, Tange sniffs dismissively. But now that everyone smells and is growing hairs in unfortunate places, absolutely not. Her lip curls in disgust. What a cosmic joke. Hormones that encourage us to be intimate with one another while simultaneously turning us into disgusting, sweaty, stinking beasts. Ugh, no thank you. I have never allowed my biology to dictate who I am, and I don't intend to start now. This boy. I'm trying to imagine if I had understood what was going on with my whole situation prior to puberty. Honestly, this does not sound entirely unlike a take I might have had on it. I really identify very strongly with Tange, including being like a hyper nerd in school. Okay, so good gifts for them. We probably can afford to give other people gifts as well. We have lots of stuff here. We still don't know what you like. Do you like yellow flower? Not particularly. Don't hate it, just don't like it. How about you? Have we tried giving you a yellow flower before? I don't think so. We haven't tried giving him crystal cluster. I know that. We tried giving basically everyone a mushwood logs. And we should just keep, like, having a bunch of mushwood logs on hand for actual use is not a bad idea. Let's try the crystal cluster, though. Okay. He's being very positive about it, but just because he's Cal and he's adorable. Hey, Mars. Should a face mask coordinate with your outfit, or should it provide contrast? Mars says, holding up 2 fabric face masks. She crumples them up and throws them to the ground, then stomps on them. Ugh, I'm so tired of all this scungy? I don't know. Pollen floating around. Why can't this planet just be normal for once? Yeah, that's a fair question. So I definitely tried giving you a crystal cluster. Would you like the yellow flower? A flower. A cheap gift, but I suppose it'll look good in my hair. Thank you. Okay, she's trying to hide it, but she likes the yellow flowers. All right, we can bring her one of those per season. And yeah, I guess let's go research xenobotany. The thing is, I would really like to have the opportunity to go outside and look for the mysterious stranger. Does that make sense to do now, though? How much organizing do I need for the next... Oof. We probably have to get all the way to the perk for the next slot, right? So, like, a lot. It does have a higher level of kudos gain than most tasks do. While not actually gaining more stress. Yeah, let's do this at least once. I want to see what it's like. You know, we might get plot and stuff. Your dad introduces you to the little lab they have set up in one of the greenhouses. It's incredible, he says, gesturing all around him. We're surrounded by alien flora, and we know practically nothing about it. What's edible? What's medicine? What can we make fibers with, or build with, or use in ways we haven't thought of yet? He beams at you. You and me, we're gonna find out, my little potato. I like Dad. Your dad directs you to a research bench. And here's where you'll be working. The bench is buried under samples and beakers and weird-looking alien sprouts. More than just a simple table, the analysis bench is covered with buttons and little holes you could put things into. Try to find the on switch? There is no on switch. Yes, you looked everywhere. Okay, I'm gonna as we're approaching puberty, the option to stick something in a hole presents itself. And you know, we're just not going to think about it too hard. You put one of the seedlings into a small slot in the table. A little door slides shut, then reopens. A loud brrr noise startles you. Is it supposed to be like a vibrating sound? Like a brrr, maybe? Oh no, you broke it! Your dad laughs. No, I'm just kidding. You're fine. Good instincts, kiddo. Yeah, and then I'm going to push buttons and we'll see what that does with the sample. You mash all the table's buttons until, yo, 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 kiddo. It's congruence. The friendly ship's computer beams at you from her own holoscreen set into the bench. Well, of course she's here. She is the guardian of all knowledge in the colony, after all. You wonder who she got yo, yo, yo from. Your dad laughs. Now, don't tell anyone, but congruence is the real brains of the operation. He confesses, though it's not like it's a secret. She'll make sure we don't do anything super dangerous, which means you and I get to focus on experimentation. Now, if you follow the rules and stick to what you already know, you won't learn anything new. So don't be afraid to try stuff. You bring your mushwood samples into the lab. You're going to study these and revolutionize the use of mushwood lumber, maybe. Study this mushwood. As much as I do like that card. Or no, okay, I lost a log and gained a copy of that card, which is good. Okay. You examine the mushwood under a microscope and take notes on its cellular structure. Part of the reason it needs to be harvested in wet is because the cells get so saturated that they lose structural integrity and turn to, well, mush during glow. Studying the exact process by which the cells take in water leads to a breakthrough. It might be possible to hack the process and stop the mushwood trees from taking on too much water during wet. If they don't take on as much water, they won't take as long to dry. +1 colony defense. Interesting. That's a stat that we don't have visibility to, I believe. You should be able to develop a spray that the loggers can apply to the fruiting body of the mushwood, the part that sticks out above the ground, to close its pores. Reducing negative pressure in the body should stop it from pulling so much water from the mycelial network underground. Well, this is great. Logging will be much more efficient now. Okay, so we want to go outside, get plant samples, bring them here. Makes sense to me. The card in this position gets +1. So, I mean, we have the stuff for a straight here. Although, this card makes things a little weird. If we end up doing something like that... Oh, right. That's going to screw things up. Kind of no matter how I do this. Right, so I could make this the 4, turning this 3 into a 5. I can't really, like... There's no convenient way to set this up, unfortunately. At least I don't see one. Yeah, we drew kind of a funny hand. Maybe the best thing to do is just to take the straight. Take this straight, this flush, and then just like throw this up here because it's a 5. You know, one thing it is sufficient. Okay. Yeah, you earn kudos very quickly at this job. And friendship with Cal matters, you know, that's something. So going out to gather more samples totally does matter for this purpose. Let's just have a quick look at everybody, and then I think we're just going to do that again real quick. We'll gain a little bit of stress, then we'll go out. We'll de-stress a little bit off of the encounter with the animals, and we'll look around for more stuff in the nearby. Hey, Squirt, your mom calls out to you. Don't you think it's time you started thinking about what you're going to do when you're older? You look at her in confusion. Isn't she always telling you to stay in school? She chuckles. Well, you got to think about it sometime, kid. How about you come join your folks on the farm? If you think you're up for it. Yeah, I'm ready for that. Your mom claps you on the back. Oof, she is just as strong as she looks. Great, she says. Come see me in geoponics when you're ready to start. It'll be more fun than wheeling dirt around, I promise. Yeah, I've finally become intelligent enough to be able to do some basic farming. So... Once again, just a little bit awkward because we have... Like, this problem keeps coming up. We have the straight in hand. which means that the one card getting +1 actually screws things up a bunch. So what? We could do like 3, 4, 5, but I can't make the 2 happen. And we just take the big flush. We get our Eagle Eyes bonus, but only physical challenges, right? We're getting our Vriki bonus though too, which is something. Is there a way to build a better straight here? We could build a better straight, but we'd have to break our flush up for it. I think I'm fine just taking this. What was the maximum? There was a 29. Okay, I don't feel too bad about that. That puts us at 20 stress. So we know there's a -30 stress event right outside of the gates. Oh boy. Okay. You're getting older. It's that magical time in your life full of discoveries and possibilities when children become adults and their bodies change in weird, wonderful, and often embarrassing ways. When you were younger, Congruence gave your class a frank presentation about preparing for the changes your bodies would experience the next few years. Which parts of the presentation was relevant to you? I like that they just let you choose the change. I mean, here's the thing. I appreciate what they're doing. They're doing a great job of like being sensitive, especially being sensitive to trans players and stuff. But, and I'm not saying that they should have done anything about this, to be clear, because like you can only accommodate for so many outcomes. But the thing that I would have chosen had I the ability to choose anything is definitely not here. I think we're gonna go with the top option as a proxy for the thing. Yeah, it's closer. I also like that this decision is divorced from your post-puberty appearance, which was a different thing that you picked at another time. Like they've done a really good job here of letting you have a lot of control over it, which you should in a science fiction society. Hell, you should now. We have the technology to have a lot of personal, individualized control over this shit right now. We're gonna take this one. We're gonna take the top one here. You and your friends giggled your way through Congruence's presentation and left with a new appreciation for the wonders of the human body. Puberty had felt like something that would happen so far in the future that it didn't apply to you. You put it out of your mind, even as you noticed Cal's voice begin to drop, or Mars starting to dress differently. I imagine Mars dresses differently a lot, though. She's probably like very aggressively trying to cause new fashion trends all the time. Until one morning you wake up and something feels different. You just know something's off as soon as you open your eyes. Things are squelchier than you expect them to be down there. You just want to close your eyes again. You remember Congruence's sexual education classes, and you're really not ready for their real-world practical applications. If you just go back to sleep, it'll go away, right? You finally sigh and muster up the courage to look under your blankets. Yep, your period started. I do feel like I feel like our character would just try to deal with it on her own, right? You wait for your parents to leave for work, calling out to you that you're going to miss breakfast if you lie around in bed. When you're sure they're gone, you carefully strip the sheets on your bed and stuff them into the recycler. Okay, well, this is maybe a little... You put in a requisition to pick up new sheets from the depot, as well as some supplies, and continue on with your day. That night, you find your mom waiting for you. She's pulled your privacy curtain back to show your stripped bed, and looks up with a knowing smile when you enter holding new sheets. Shit, our mom is too smart. She confronts you. There's only a few reasons a teenager does their own laundry. Do you want to share anything with your old lady, Samhain? You duck your head and mumble that you got your period. You don't know what you're expecting, but it's not a hug. I wish you'd felt comfortable telling me, your mom says. My little girl is growing up. She puts her hand on your shoulders. I'm so happy for you, kiddo. I know you're probably grossed out, but getting your period is important. Sometimes we need a bit of mess in our lives to remind us that we're real, that we're a part of this world. It reminds us that we have the ability to make life and the responsibility to take care of that life. Getting your period is a beautiful thing. You can't think of anything worse. Thankfully, soon you can get a blocker to keep from having to go through this every month. Your mom hugs you again and keeps talking about how she's proud of you. It's super embarrassing, and you can't help but shove her away and retreat to your bunk to stew about it. Gained status hormones. Yeah, same. What is happening? You feel on edge today. Like everything that happens feels so unfair and tragic. You want to punch stuff and then cry about it. You want to be left alone, but you also desperately want attention. Alright, feeling a little personally called out. It feels like a fount of new energy is starting to bubble up inside you. Dangerous, uncontrollable energy. Welcome to puberty. Grand. So, for people who are not familiar with me and my journey and where I'm at, I am relatively early in my medical transition. I'm about a year in. Well, I guess like a year and a half at this point. And the hormone switch does cause sort of a puberty period. It is often referred to as second puberty. And let me tell you something. Going through puberty with the body of a person in their late 30s, part of what like makes puberty functional in a younger person is that your body is like good at recovering from stuff. You heal quickly. You don't have like the degree of aches and pains that you have when you're older that just won't go away. It is kind of a little bit of a quiet nightmare having to go through it all again with a brain that's way more like cognizant of what's going on and a body that just is so much slower at recovering from pain. What I really wish there had been an option for there was to separate breast growth from menstruation, because not to get too graphic about anything, and I won't, but like, I think I would have liked to play a character who is biologically set up the way I am, which is to say, definitely no menstruation, but the other physical markers of like an estrogen-based puberty. It probably won't end up mattering that much. My guess is like the menstruation specifically, but anyway. So new month. Like I said, we have that's right, we have to get to like a really high level of bravery for this, right? Yeah, we have a little bit more stress. Let's do one more month of work here. And then with the new season, we'll go out again. We'll see about collectibles and we'll de-stress off the animal events and we'll look for the mysterious stranger in particular. Working on the farm gets us biology and toughness. Okay, I wanna stick to the xenobotany work for the moment. Tangent doesn't work in the geoponics lab with you, but she swings by every now and then to compare notes and complain about your experiments. She loves talking about novel substances, things the colony could use for new sources of fuel or medicine, or even boring stuff like glue. The idea that the colony could harness the power of Vertumna is really exciting for her. Alright, so the card slot at the end gets the +1 this time. That's interesting. It's still a little awkward, because right, this is going to be a 5 by itself. And I don't really want to put playing sports ball even like on this end because it breaks down the straight. Yeah, if I just throw this in here as a disconnected... Oh, it's right. It is a disconnected 4 because it is unchangeable. So that just gives us 31. 31's not horrible. Is there a way to... I don't know. I'm just going to take the 31. Working this in so we get the full flush gives us +10. but it's going to break up our straight to some degree. And yeah. Okay, this was the cap. That makes sense to me. Slowly working toward that organizing bonus. And we kick over to early dust. Okay. Let's start dust season with a little bit of gift giving, because we still have plenty of medicinal roots. Okay, this is the puberty talk thing again. We've seen this dialogue here. You can have this. Where are we at with you? 50 something? 54. Okay. Neither one of them is like particularly nice to me, but I'm hoping that will change. I don't want to be like everyone else, Dis says, scowling as he watches people move around the colony. I'm not like everyone else. I'm just different. I can tell. Yeah, there are definitely ways in which this is true. Okay. Let us scout out the nearby. Okay, it doesn't seem like it has any difference when we're doing it officially, except she shows up. Utopia is working near the gates. This area has been deemed safe enough for kids to go for a hike so long as you're back before dark and never go out during glow. There ain't a lot to see out there, she says. A logging camp, a few fields, some nice lookouts. You've been out here before, but that was when you weren't supposed to, so you let her give you her advice anyway. Keep your eyes peeled for useful things like that there mushwood log. She points to a light, sturdy piece of wood by the side of the road. Lumber carrier must have dropped it. It's fairly safe out there, but that don't mean totally safe, she cautions. Don't go too far, and if you see anything what scares you, you run like heck and make a ton of noise. She helps tighten the straps of your backpack. What you hoping to see out there, sweets? Just stuff to collect. Utopia laughs. Take nothing but photos, leave nothing but footprints, she teases. I don't know. Suppose it's different on a brand new planet like this one, she says. We actually do need samples of basically everything, especially stuff that might be edible. She slaps you on the back. Things regrow pretty wild out there, she adds. If you picked a place clean, give it a year. But it'll look like you were never there at all. Diegetic explanation for the way the respawn mechanics work. So we're at 30 stress now. I would like to see the stranger, and I'm sure the stranger exists in the events. Was I wrong about it? I thought we had a what do you call it? That dinosaur event stored right outside town. Maybe I am. Was that like last year? Maybe. I don't know. Here, let's try here. This is an animal event. This hop eye is acting really strange. It won't let you pass. Okay, so this is a little bit below our normal challenge level. We know a thing or two about hop eyes, though. I probably just... We could do the 3 straight, 4, 5, 6, but so much of our deck is red. I'd really like to hold on to the red cards. We could just make a 3 of a kind here. That's a pretty soft opening. But yeah, here we go. This is kind of what I was talking about. So if we do like 4, 5, 6. That'll just get us there. Throw in another red card for good measure. That'll get us to the super goal on round 2. And then from there, we got some 4s and some 6s. So animals. Okay, so we got 3 animals and also 2 animals. Pretty good. Yep, it's warning you away from its nest. We know that one already. We've seen that. Where is the dinosaur event? I want to get my stress down. We lose our dinosaur? Well, gosh, I've certainly collected enough mushwood logs. So, shoot. I really wanted to get the de-stressing effects of that encounter. Well, there's the big yellow exclamation point encounter up at the top that's probably something interesting. But I wanted to make sure I was doing animal stuff as much as possible because, obviously, we don't get a lot of chances to improve our animal skill. It's at 54 right now, so we're not very far off of the cap. I guess let's just hit like 1 or 2 random ones, hoping to have an encounter with the stranger. Okay, farmland is spilled outside the walls. We try to plant something, get a little biology out of it. What are you doing rooting around over here? Utopia comes striding out of the forest, a big grin on her face. Are you farming? Well, you're in the wrong place. These fields haven't been worked in years. Everyone's moved inside the walls, sweets. She kicks a clod of gray-pink dirt. Soil's just not good enough out here for growing Earth's crops. Besides, the animals get to it faster than we can chase them away. Try reporting to Geoponics if you'd like to help out. Okay. Judgmental. Trying all the ones off of the road. Aha! It's the person on top of the mushroom-capped tree. Okay. Find another way. They're right. They're very weird. We know that they're right. We can get through anyway because we have incredible powers of perception, but I want to meet this person. It doesn't seem like we have any ability to do so. All right, let's milk this float cow. All right, a little bit more animal stuff, a little bit more time passing. We can probably afford to do one more other event before we take this on. You stop for lunch. You know what? Just relax. Yeah, because that's going to de-stress us. The other thing like gives you a couple points of combat. This will let us feel around for meaningful events a little bit more. But I'm wondering if maybe there's just no way to encounter the stranger. A cluster of mush trees. They're not fully grown yet, but they're still pretty big. Might be good to harvest them before they get all gross and mushy during the rainy season. Well, we have a plan for that. And also, I kind of like the mushwood. I don't want to cut it down. I give it a friendly pat. Yep, camouflage creature lying against the trunk. A little bit more animal skill. You pause in your tracks, hearing a terrifying sound. You strain to listen. Is it manticores roaring in the distance? Or something even more dangerous? I don't think we've seen this one before. I sure hope it doesn't give us any additional stress. We're going to bravely continue on with all of this bravery. The bravery gain is specifically for the purpose of fighting off the stress, right? This is kind of awkward. We can do like 2, 4, 4, get some little bonuses. Build ourselves a tiny little straight here and also, you know, kind of whatever. And then is the most sensible thing this? Probably. It's better to build a 4 of a kind than a 2 and a 3, right? So you get 6 for that as opposed to 3 plus 1 for this. Yeah, okay. Plus, we do want to play the Eagle Eyes. In case we end up getting any animal points off of this challenge, which we might, right? Or is it just going to be bravery? Okay, we don't encounter whatever the animal was. You don't back down, though it takes energy to keep walking toward the roar as you hear it again and again, getting louder and louder. It's not a manticore. It's a little fluff of a creature, all puffed up with the effort of roaring, its voice amplified by a hollow log. It sounds just like a manticore, though. What a weird survival feature. It probably intimidates a lot of predators. That's neat. I do feel like that should be worth some animal points. Okay, let's go and check out the end of path event here. You spot the most spectacular flower you've ever seen. It's nearly 1 meter wide, all beautiful pinks and glittering rainbow hues, like a powdery oil slick. When the wind rustles it, the shimmer is breathtaking. You need to have it or alternatively, do I know better and not to touch it because I know animals 20? Animals is not what I was expecting this check to be about. Smart. You resist the flower's allure. You gained gut feeling. Card to the right becomes a 3 and it's a 2. That's a nice card. I guess we could keep exploring? Nope. Okay, that event counts as a 15. All right. I feel pretty okay about that. Got some more bravery, got some more animal skill. We're getting pretty close to the next level up on both of them, actually. And hey, it's Vertumnalia. You try to sneak some food before the speeches start, but Chief Engineer Instance catches you and smacks your hand away. Your mom gets really mad at her, and it causes a huge yelling match. Your dad directs you away from the table as Instance blames your mom for the way things are right now, whatever that means. Your dad passes you a soy sweet to keep your tummy busy during the speeches. He's the best, whatever that means. There is still something really bad going on here. They have like grave existential type concerns, I think, and they are not letting us in on it. Governor Udicott takes the stage and manages to calm everyone down. Welcome everyone to our 4th Vertumnalia celebration, she says, speaking through a maxiphoner. Her voice has been getting weaker lately and can't reach across the square the way it used to. I'm proud, as always, to stand before you as your governor and to celebrate another year of peace and prosperity on this beautiful planet. Udicott steps aside, wobbling a little as she walks, leaving Seek to complete the annual formalities. Your mom steps forward. This year's feast includes a new glow-in-the-dark food. Pixie beans are our first domesticated Vertumnan crop. The crowd applauds and your mom raises her hands. Credit goes to Geranium. He insisted we dedicate 1/3 of our fields to them, so you'll also have him to thank for the light show in your toilets tonight. A smattering of laughter ripples through the crowd. Your dad chuckles nervously. Your mom's smile fades. As you know, we lost our hydroponics and microbial soil during the wormhole accident, she says. These pixie beans will make up for the losses we faced with our earth crops. Udicott's weedy voice rattles through the maxiphoner. Thank you, everyone. Let's get on with the games. The crowd packs away the chairs as the children gather in the square. Which competition do you participate in this year? So, I mean, we've been kicking ass on the bot thing over and over and over again, and maybe we should do the science fair this year. But I want to see what changes. Com? Is it Com? What is Nem's brother's name? It's Com, right? Yeah, and also, like, we keep winning red 5s. Red 5s are great cards. Yeah, let's go ahead and do it. Com directs your attention to this year's edition. A cloth-covered mountain as tall as 4 adults, studded with mysterious protrusions. He pulls it back to reveal the Aggro Crag, he announces with a flourish. Test your courage with 3 stories of ladder climbs, followed by a death-defying leap of faith onto the poof shroom mats. This is absolutely something that would have been on Guts. Come on now. You, Nem, and Cal take in the majesty of the Tower of Terror. Both of them are hooting and pumping their fists, absolutely bonkers about jumping from 3 stories. You'll still be doing all the wrestling agility and accuracy portions, but clearly this is the winner by popular vote. Yeah, I'm feeling pretty ready and extremely capable. Okay, it locked a blue card in a position that I think is much better for us generally. Let's take this straight, right? We get bonuses to straights? Yeah. This then becomes a little awkward. So +1 for each gem we use. We can make it a 5. Get ourselves... What if we do it like this? That's not terrible. Yeah, +2 to the card to the right is kind of a weird. So wait, if I pull this off of here, I give that a +2. It's not working. Oh, to a red card to the right. I don't know. Maybe we just take this. Like, this is not horrible. The other thing is we could try to arrange this in such a way that we get a decent straight out of it. Like, if I then mushwood log this, yeah, like we might want to actually start using our mushwood logs because challenges are starting to get like pretty difficult. Although obviously here we were fine. Oh, interesting. It records the +1 from the previous. Oh no, it just remembers the mushwood log. Oh, I could have had the mushwood log on it the whole time. That's really interesting, and not at all how I was expecting that to work. Okay. We could then make that a 6. If I put down a gem to make this a 3, we're going to pay for it. So maybe we do just break the flush. But yeah, big straight. The 11-point straight feels like it's probably worthwhile. Far be it from me to ever be big straight, but it was right there. You blow through the obstacle course, the basket shooting, and the bot wrestling with ease, and you arrive at the base of the Tower of Terror with a determined gleam in your eye. You scale it easily, of course. It's only ladders. Sure, it's really high ladders and a huge jump, but you just close your eyes and pretend you're jumping into a great big vat of pudding. Is that more exciting than the thing you're actually doing? I don't know. Calm awards you first place, as always. Finally, it's time for the feast. The pixie beans are a hit. Your parents keep touting their many benefits. They grow well here, they're super nutritious, they taste great, they're really versatile, and kids love their bright multicolor glow. Your rumbling stomach has made you grouchy. Your parents won't let you eat until they finally stop bragging about their dumb beans. You consider the options. Pixie bean soup, pixie bean salad, pixie bean chili. Ooh, I haven't had chili in a while. Even pixie bean aquafaba dessert. Everything glows in the evening twilight. You sullenly shove your pixie bean everything around on your plate. You don't even want to eat them anymore. Stupid beans, stupid feast, stupid games, stupid everyone. Every time someone tries to talk to you, especially about how great these beans are and how great your parents are for growing them, you just get more irritated. They're just beans. It's like they love these beans more than they love you. You're probably just hungry. Hungry and also, puberty is happening. I'm going to eat my damn beans. You want to rebel against these stupid beans, but the truth is you are too hungry to resist. You count backwards from 10 to calm yourself so you don't blow up at your mom. Why is she smiling all the time? You settle on glowering at her over your plate of glowing beans. She notices, but just purses her lips and turns away from you to talk to someone else. Well, that's rude. You shovel food into your mouth, trying not to look like you're enjoying it. Okay, it is as delicious as everyone said, and you start to feel more human the more you eat. Right, yeah, food. Food is great. Also, this card is great. Jeez. You do feel better after you eat something. Everyone's in high spirits after dinner, breaking off into little groups to talk or make music together as the sky darkens for the shortest night of the year. You feel your mood improve by the minute as your friends pull you into a fun rhythmic clapping game. As your irritation fades, you wonder if this is what congruence meant when she warned that your hormones would make you feel out of control sometimes. When you go back to your quarters to get ready for bed, your dad gives you a big hug. It's exactly what you needed. Okay, well, that was nice. Oh, hey, hold on a second. Nem's birthday is in dust, right? Am I remembering that correctly? Nem and Nougat are kicking up a huge cloud of dust outside the garrison, passing a sports ball back and forth and chasing each other around. Do we know Nougat? Is Nougat... Huh. Nougat has a real, sort of a real plant-like vibe with the coloration and the green bow in that position. Samhain, hey, she says, jumping up and down. Look! She bounces the sports ball on her knees. Look at what Nougat and me are practicing. Nem bounces the sports ball from one knee to the other a few times before launching it up into the air. She crouches, leaps up after it, and spikes it with her head toward Nougat with a yell. The sports ball thuds into Nougat's chest, sending her sprawling to the dirt. For a second, you freeze, waiting for the crying to start. But instead, Nougat shrieks and laughs, clutching the ball, as Nem jumps up and down and pumps her fist dramatically. 4 points for the ball not touching the ground after contact, Nem crows. The crowd goes wild. The Garrison Galaxies win again. Woo! Nougat cups her hands over her mouth, imitating the roar of a crowd. How competitive are we getting with Nem? Like, I do think that's awesome. But what if we competed against each other? Because I think Nem likes to compete. We like to compete. Rebellion increases triple. That's fair. So this is my problem. I want to say I could do better if it's going to like encourage a spirit of competition between us, if we're going to have a little thing about it. I don't want to say it if it's just going to make them feel worse. If it's just going to be like I'm being mean. I'm just going to say, wow, that's awesome, for fear of it getting read wrong. If we're all in hormonal state, it's very easy for tiny slights to turn into big blow-ups. I'm just going to do, wow, that's awesome. I know, right? Nem beams. She stands up straighter and puts her hands on her hips. I'm going to be just as good as my big bro someday. And Nougat will too. She rubs the back of her hand across her nose, leaving a smear of dirt. Hey, you should come by the sports ball pitch sometime. I can show you some tricks. Yeah, okay. I'll do that. We can make time for a little bit of sports ball in our schedule. Yay, great, Nem says, bouncing on her feet. I can't wait. I'm so excited. Sports ball is my favorite thing on the planet. Her eyes go wide. Maybe even in the whole galaxy. Me too, Nougat yells from where she's still lying on the ground. She picks herself up and carefully puts the paw down in front of her, then kicks it to Anemone. Ha! Did you see that? Nem laughs. She kicked the ball with her foot. Nougat's a natural. She's already inventing new ways to play sports ball. Future coach Nougat. Nougat puts her hands on her tiny hips. If you come to practice, you gotta play, she challenges, pointing at you. Nemi says I get to be coach, so it's my rules. You and Nem both burst out laughing. Nougat is such a little character. Okay, I'm already a little bit in love with Nougat. But the reason I came over here was to check and make sure I know when your birthday is. Early dust. Oh, shoot. Oh, shoot, I missed it. Do I have an egg for you? I don't even have an egg for you. Well, I feel bad, but here's a yellow flower because I feel bad. Yeah, that's shitty. That sucks. Okay. This episode's spiraling out of control because I find the game incredibly compelling to play. So I'm going to stop here. That's going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. When y'all return next time, we're going to continue working on our organizing, continue working on our biology, and hopefully find a good time to rest in the park and let our pets level up, whatever that means. Because, like, the cards for our pets are already so good. It's hard to imagine getting them at a higher level and maybe getting to equip both of them. I'm very excited about the prospect. Come back next time to see if that all goes as I'm hoping, and we'll see you then.